What is going on, guys? It is currently Saturday night, pretty late. I'm actually packing right now. I'm on my way to Colombia in the morning, and I'll spend a few days there, and then I'll be on my way to Brazil. I'm actually going for work mostly, so it's not really that fun of a trip. I've been to Brazil a ton of times, obviously. Colombia I had never been to, so I'm actually excited to go. I'll be in Bogota for a couple of days before heading over to Brazil. In terms of the crypto markets, we are still in the red, as you guys know. However, don't ever forget that waiting on the sidelines is also a position. Cash is also a position. So don't think that because you're not being involved in trades that, you know, you're somehow missing out on something. I mean, the market, we are in a legitimate bear market. So there are a few opportunities, and we did send out a few, I did send out a few trade alerts for ZRX and for ZEN Cash. Those were both swing trades that we made double-digit percentage profits on. And anytime you can book profits, especially double-digit percentage profits in a bear market, that is amazing. So if you want access to the trade alerts, the link is in the description. Let me show you what I'm packing real quick. Currently, I'm trying to figure out how to get these Jordan 3s in this bag. I do like to travel with at least a couple pairs of shoes. I hate wearing the same pair of shoes over and over because, you know, your feet get sweaty and shit and you're walking around. There's my camera. I have one more charging. My laptop is charging currently, and I'll show you what I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading this book, The Power Elite by C. Wright Mills. This book was actually written in the 50s, very relevant today if you're interested in government and how corporate structures intertwine with government. It's a very relevant book. Enough about that. So yeah, I'm gonna finish packing, get a couple hours of sleep, and then I'm on my way to Colombia. I'll see you there. What is going on, guys? Finally made it to the airport. I'm sitting at the airport lounge watching the finals of the tennis match. Unfortunately, I just realized this. I will be here, or sorry, I'll be on the flight by the time the World Cup final is up. So hopefully they have a TV on the plane. Some planes have TVs. We'll see. But I'm sitting here currently looking at the charts. There's a lot of alts that are pumping today, so let us take a look at some of them. All right, guys, looking at ZRX. ZRX continues to soar, especially since the time that we sent out the trade alert. I sent out the trade alert on Friday, which was the 13th, right around here, and it has gone up 30% since. I took profits a little bit before that because I had a trailing stop set up. In case of any pullbacks, I would protect my double-digit profits. And anytime you can get double-digit profits, as we said, in a bear market, you don't pass up that opportunity. But for those of you that held on, congratulations, because you're now up 30%. Now with ZRX, part of the reason for the pump is because it was one of these 5 cryptocurrencies that were talked about or rumored as possible Coinbase listings. Coinbase was rumored to be testing BAT, which is Basic Attention Token, Stellar, Zcash, ZRX, and Cardano. So all of those saw rallies, but not quite as big as Basic Attention Token or BAT and ZRX. Both of those saw pretty big rallies. If here's Basic Attention Tokens chart, you'll see that on the 13th, this huge spike right here. Now, we did see on that, we did see sell-offs thereafter, but on the ZRX, you know, after this tall green volume bar and then some subsequent green volume bars, you don't really see any sell-offs, which is a great sign, although it is forming an ascending wedge, which is usually a bearish pattern, saying that at some point we will see a decline in price. There isn't really any divergence between any of the oscillators and the price itself, so we'll see. We'll wait to see what happens on ZRX. Like I said, I took most of my profits already at around the 17% range, but I know that some of you in the Discord, in the community where I do send the trade alerts out, join the Patreon for the trade alerts, by the way. I know some of you held on, and hopefully you were able to bank at least 30% profits. We are currently trading a little bit below the 0.786 fib ratio, so we do have a little room to grow in terms of potential profits if we take the 1 as the next target, which is another 16% of growth.
However, I would continue to follow a pretty stringent or diligent, I guess, plan with regards to ZRX and profit taking, because I would not want to lose out on double-digit profits in a bear market. If you look at basic attention token, same thing. It is forming an ascending, broadening wedge, but we do see the sell-offs happen after the pump. There is a red volume bar that is almost as tall as the previous green volume bar, meaning that people did start taking profits on BAT. Let's take a look at BTC real quick and see what the state of affairs is. I drew this reverse head and shoulders a few days ago last week, saying that BTC was prone or was ripe for a reverse head and shoulders based on how the pattern was looking. Obviously, part of that is confirmation bias. A lot of times when you're charting stuff, you want to look for positive patterns. But it does look like it's playing out that way. It depends on what happens in the next two candles. But this is the neckline of the reverse head and shoulders. And if we close above that with significant volume, then we could see a retest of previous levels. I would say 6,500 would be the next level, 6,800 the level after that, and 7K is what we've been trying to get to for a while, which is this right here, right around the 50-day EMA, which we haven't been able to close above since May 9th or May 10th. So it's been a while. Pertinent news going on in the market. As I said before, Coinbase is testing 5 major tokens. Stellar, Cardano, Zcash, ZRX, and BAT. So we'll see what comes out of those and whether they announce anything in the same way that they did Ethereum Classic. Another piece of news that I found pretty interesting, it says US ranks as most favorable country for ICOs in recent report. I don't know who's conducting these rankings and why the US would be the top pick for ICOs, since ICOs are mostly banned in the US. Now, tokens and crypto projects have found creative ways to circumvent that in the form of airdrops, where you're not doing a worldwide token sale where people can participate. However, you do airdrop coins for upcoming projects as part of tied to the releases of other coins, and that way you garner attention for your crypto project. So it's interesting. I don't know why the US would rank as first, maybe because it is one of the biggest crypto markets with the most cash to spare, maybe trailing only behind Asia. But in terms of ICOs, a lot of ICO sites are blocked in the US. Obviously, you can circumvent that through the use of proxies or VPNs, but I don't know why the US would rank as first. Good news for Tether. Tether is seemingly doing the responsible thing. They have appointed the BMO anti-money laundering manager as chief compliance officer. The BMO is the Bank of Montreal. It's a pretty big bank in Canada, or in North America in general. So this looks to be like they're headed on the path of wanting to show some sort of transparency to people who are always skeptical about Tether. That is really it in terms of crypto news this morning. There haven't been a ton of interesting stories besides those, really. Going back to CoinMarketCap, you'll see that we did increase a bit on the market cap. 250 now seems like the major resistance for the market cap. If you remember, a couple months ago it was 300 bill, then it dropped down to 280, then 260, now it's around 250. The only thing that is promising about that is that the interest is waning gradually, and we do see retests of previous resistance levels. So it's not like the sentiment for the cryptocurrency market is just taking a violent dive downwards. It is teetering a bit on these historic resistance levels. In the same way that Bitcoin's price is. I mean, Bitcoin's price currently is at 63.50. It did hit 5,800 a couple weeks ago, but was able to bounce back after that. So we are incrementally increasing with regards to the cryptocurrency market and cryptocurrency prices individually. So, it's a good sign that we're not just tanking from here. you do hear about the wild proclamations of Bitcoin going to 3K or 2K. Again, hopefully the flight that I'm on has some sort of TV, live TV, because the World Cup final is about to go down in about half an hour. I'm pretty pissed. However, I did manage to snag some breakfast in the form of, I just wanted to make sure that you were able to see it, but I managed to snag some breakfast in the form of some protein. We got some eggs, some bacon, some papaya, some fruits. So yeah, and then about to board the plane in 7 minutes. So I gotta shut this down real quick, and I'll see you guys in the next one.